Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back KS family. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I share the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth and positive excellence in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 1.53% to 2867. Ethereum is down 0.34% to 1604. Yesterday, I released in the LV section of the Masterclass LV25 Midterm Election Volatility Secrets You Need to Know. From the midterm elections in both 2014 and 2018, we saw a bit of a rise in price and then a fall off in the 2018, but an increase in the 2014 midterm elections. So just be aware, we could go this way or we could go some other way. We need to keep our eye on what price is actually doing. This gives you a guide, and an important guide at that, but just keep in mind, price action reveals its own truth. And the midterm elections are coming up tomorrow in the US. As crypto technical analysts, we're always prepared for any eventuality. If the market goes down, we're prepared. If it goes neutral or go flat, we're prepared. Or if it goes up, we're prepared. And this is part of our understanding of three-dimensional risk management. And we do that through the BORSOG code. And you can look at that deep dive in episode 685. The key with this particular risk management code is to raise your synchronization over time. The key thing to understand, Bitcoin is actually in an uptrend and it's still being maintained. That uptrend is still intact. If we had a push down in price to the 21,000 and it just bounced up, that would have been a very, very strong bullish indicator. But we've actually seen a retesting of this 20,776 level and not a retesting of the 20,350 level. So we can say we're medium-term bullish at the moment. There are 2 price points I'd like to keep your focus on. One is $21,068. A movement across the 21,068 is very, very bullish. Of course, if it can be supported, it's even more so. But that will indicate strength returning into the crypto market. If we get price falling below 20,434, start to pay a lot of attention to it. You may have to do a little bit of risk management at that particular time, but you always have your BORSOG code, so you know what you're doing with each trade and your entire portfolio each and every day. And across the entire crypto space, we've seen total crypto market cap come down and test a lower support level at 964.936 billion. So that's very good because we had positive momentum. Basically across the crypto market, buyers stepped in and defended this upward support line. And we're still above upward support at 975.55 billion. Total crypto market cap is currently 990.76 billion. We are also above the support level that we talked about across the weekend, 987.98 billion. And when we get over $1.007 trillion, that will be fantastic upside momentum. Just keep your eyes on these support lines at the moment. So far, so good. We can see the entire crypto market is above support. That's really, really important to understand. Because we're being supported in price, we're not seeing at the moment any type of sell-off event. Another positive factor when we look at Bitcoin's price, and we know Bitcoin rules the crypto market, we can see that there's strong support, a strong smart money buy level at 20,766 and another one at 20,539. These buy levels have been very, very well defended by the buyers. So if we stay and maintain ourselves above this 20,766 mark, the potential for higher prices is definitely on the cards. If we fall down below this 20,539 mark, the potential for negative price action is definitely on the cards. These are two very, very key levels that you want to keep your eye on. If we maintain positive momentum, the next level of smart money resistance, the next level of selling would be 21,723. From a weekly basis, Bitcoin has overcome resistance and is going up a very tight support line, and it has positive air. So what that basically means, upward price momentum at this current time is actually quite strong. When turning to the longs and the shorts, we can see both the longs and shorts coming into the market at an increasing rate, but we saw negative price momentum. So over the past about 24 hours, the shorts were in control, liquidating the longs, but that's turned around and now the longs are in control and have been increasingly liquidating the shorts. So let's check those stats out and see if that holds true. Over the past 24 hours, there's been 142.72 million in total liquidations across 78,984 positions. And when we look to the past 24 hours, about 78% of total liquidations were long liquidations. And then over the past 12 hours, say 72% of total liquidations are short. So that's going in alignment with what we thought. And over the past 4 hours, increasing 76% short, approximately. And over the past hour, about, say, 90% short. So that's actually gelling with what we're seeing happen in price. And when we look at the overall liquidations, they're not too much greater. It's very, very moderate trading activity, but when we get up into the hundreds of millions of dollars, that's a little bit more significant, but we're not really seeing anything like that at the current time. When people first get into the crypto market, they enter zone 1 and they say, well, I don't really have a lot of money, so I need to leverage. And what leverage does is it makes sure that you have basically no money, because under leverage, any particular price movement gets magnified by orders of magnitude. And if you get onto the wrong side of the trade, you can wipe out your account. So these numbers literally mean these are the people whose accounts have been wiped out in terms of that position. And what is the big number here? It's how much money they've lost to the house. Going fast is the fastest way to go slow, and that may sound counterintuitive, but when you're doing leverage, you're not actually trying to synchronize in with the market. You're trying to make money. And the people who try to make money when they trade actually lose money. That's really, really counterintuitive, but it's absolutely correct. After more than 3 decades in financial markets, it's not the money that you focus on, it's getting the process correct. It's about controlling your emotional state and making sure that money is the byproduct of doing the right things. It's not the goal. If it's the goal, it will continually elude you. And it's important to get rid of fantasies about instantly retiring or just making so much money that you never saw. If you don't have the skills, if you don't have the experience, if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the knowledge, it's just not going to happen. That's why education is so critically important, and mindset even more so. That's why we dedicate a lot of time to mindset each and every episode, each and every video, because it's so incredibly important to you. We're all about going slow to go fast, getting in and synchronizing in with the market, and then you scale. If you find that you're desynchronizing, you descale, and just using coffee money literally to get started to gain your experience. And BORSOG comes from rule 621, buy on red, sell on green. This is a crypto specific rule, but you can use it in the stock market. But it's very, very different if you use it in the stock market. You have to take much, much more time to see your trades turn around. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, Link out in front, OKB coming in second, VET, Matic, Synthetics, Dash, and then DOT. The greatest losers over the past 24 hours, LRC, Maker, Aptos, Solana, Ape, Kava, and Immutable X. Turning to the top 8 cryptos, we can see, and this is all about enhancing your pattern recognition. You can see Bitcoin's gravity in that blue line and the actual alt in the colored bars. We can see Ethereum matching Bitcoin's gravity, just a little bit weaker, but coming into synchronization. BNB coming into synchronization as well. ADA coming into synchronization. XRP just still a little bit weaker. Solana a lot weaker. Doge substantially weaker. And we can see DOT, which has been weak for so many months. Gavin, fantastic. Seeing you get it together. Terrific. We can see DOT actually going for it. Well done, DOT holders. And we can see some interesting behavior, some different variances in Matic's gravity relative to Bitcoin. As Bitcoin was coming down, Matic was saying, no, I'm not going down, I'm coming up. Fantastic. They're called inverters, and we love them. Looking at the next 8, we can see Tron below Bitcoin's gravity, SHIB below Bitcoin's gravity, and we can see Uni just starting to try to get a line, but still below Bitcoin's gravity in terms of strength. It's currently weaker. AVAX notably weaker. Litecoin notably stronger. And look at Link, just absolutely bolting, taking off like DOT. What about Atom, just coming into synchronize in with Bitcoin's gravity? I did a quick poll on Twitter about 13 hours ago and just looked at what people thought about FTT, FTX and Alameda Research. The concept was nothing to see here. About 15% of people said that. Not sure, about 34%. Limited impact, about 21%. And the next Celsius, around 30%. So people are very divided in how they're looking at FTT and Alameda Research just right at the moment. In the crypto space, generally where there's smoke, there is potentially fire. So we need to pay attention, or at least we need to do our risk management. We've seen FTT come down quite a lot. And CZ, the owner of Binance, is deciding to liquidate any remaining FTT on their books. He's expecting this to take a few months to complete. When you look at technical analysis, it can actually throw warnings out when you see some pretty dodgy behavior in a particular chart. You can look at it and say, there's something not quite right here. I need to look in more deeply. Or when you see a positive takeoff, it's the opposite. You can say, well, there looks to be good news brewing there. I wonder what that is about. And often, it's the smart money just moving things around before any press comes out. Let's have a look at some more top cryptos. We can see XLM just under Bitcoin's gravity, as is NIA. We can see Algo actually outperforming Bitcoin to quite a degree. Well done. And we can see Quant starting to reflect back, those sharp angles reversing, but it's still under Bitcoin's gravity. It's still a little bit weaker. And we can see Flow weaker than Bitcoin's gravity. What's interesting is we can see VET really starting to take off. And this is marrying in with the concept that DOT and also Link have been taking off. So DOT, VET and Link all looking pretty interesting. Luna C is still under Bitcoin's gravity, and it looks like File is potentially starting to make a play for a breakout. In economic news, later on this week, the CPI will be coming out. One thing that we'll need to be careful of, when you look at the CPI month on month, they expect it to increase, but the CPI year on year fall from 8.2% to 7.9%. If it goes the other way, the markets will react badly. That's why, what I mean there, if it goes the other way, if it doesn't go down, but it goes up and exceeds 8.2%, just be aware that the markets may react quite violently with a bit of a sell-off. And core CPI is expected to fall. Again, if it doesn't fall, if it increases, beware of that. That could have a very, very negative impact on the markets. Unemployment claims are expected to increase, and this is the demand destruction that the Fed wants to cause throughout the US. And that is, of course, spreading to all countries because inflation is very entrenched in literally all countries around the world, and some more so than others. And we can also see the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index is actually going down. And this is what the Fed wants. The Fed, the central banks, want demand destruction. They can't bring supply back in line with demand, so they try to destroy demand. That's the very, very short-sighted nature of old, archaic economic policy, and that's what it really is. And these economic policies have been used since World War II, so they're really old. I would still recommend you keep your eye on the DXY. The DXY has had an epic fall down in price. You can see how these strong smart money levels have been holding, how it bounces between them. And when it loses support, it comes down fast. But when it breaks resistance, it will go up fast as well. Just keep these things in mind. And what we're seeing, we've actually reached the next band of support, and between 110.095 and 110.219, and the DXY is currently 110.153. If we get an upward momentum around to the 111.033 mark, we would expect negative momentum inside the stock market and also crypto. But if the dollar breaks down to its next major support level at 109.607, we would expect crypto and stocks to rally. Let's keep our eye on the DXY. It's quite important to do so. And when we look at the S&P 500, we can see that the smart money buy levels have been very, very well activated. And you can notice this gap, this fresh air. What that actually means is the price can move very, very quickly between one particular support level and one different resistance level. And this is exactly what we've been seeing. And when price gets to a resistance level, seeks to turn it to support, it will be stopped by the next resistance level. And what you can see in all of this, if we get above the S&P 500, gets above 38.29, the next resistance is around 39.17, so that could be really, really good for the stock market. And stock market and crypto are moving together at the current time. And one thing to bear in mind, they don't need to move perfectly in sync all the time. We can see the S&P 500 came up a little bit, Bitcoin came down a little bit, but that's okay. It's moving in basic directional correlation with each other. That means as the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin on average goes up, but it doesn't mean it always goes up in direct synchronization. Sometimes Bitcoin can move up faster and need to digest. This is just the way that crypto goes in terms of the stock market. One thing to consider with the NASDAQ, we're coming up to a smart money sell level. There's a lot of sell pressure above the NASDAQ's current price, and a lot of it exists. If and when it gets above this particular resistance that's playing out literally from the current price to 10.745, if we get above that, you know that it can shoot, because this is what actually happens when we have this fresh air. And it's this exactly the same in crypto. When we have fresh air, price can absolutely shoot between levels. When looking at the main market, we can see that the VIX, the fear gauge of the main market, has just been coming down and down and down and down. And that's actually not such a good thing, because when it comes down too much, that's like seeing all the shorts get liquidated day after day after day after day. It won't be too long until the longs get fully liquidated as well. Just keep this in mind. We want natural and normal price action, which is price moving in a wave, not going too much in one direction or the other, but just balancing out. And we're not seeing that in the VIX at the moment. We can see that we had a slight retracement in the NASDAQ 100. Oil is starting to go for it. It's coming up, breaching a level of resistance. Bond prices continue to sell down as bond yields come up. We can see gold rallied on the news that the dollar has basically been selling off dramatically and traumatically. And junk bonds are still actually under resistance, but they have the first signs of life of turning around. One thing that I would like to draw to your attention, if the VIX rapidly spikes up, we would expect, based on probability, to see the major indices just get hammered. And Masterclass students, if you have access to LV25, please have a look at it. I always say don't skip a lesson, but the LVs are a little bit different. There's kind of like just-in-time information, but just if you have access to that. The reason I raise this is midterm elections can be very, very volatile to the upside and to the downside for a continuing period of time. So just keep this in mind. The VIX has sold way down, too low, too fast. It's not good. It's not healthy. It's just like bond prices. This is not healthy. Bond yields are not healthy. The markets are basically not healthy. But it's actually in these volatile periods that fortunes are made, because we love volatility as traders. One thing of particular note, the Fed balance sheet has been hemorrhaging. The Fed has said that it will take money out of the markets. That's what it has been doing to fight inflation. Inflation looks to be curling over at the moment, but it's really, really early days. Later in the week, we expect the CPI numbers to come down, but if they shoot up, expect the VIX to shoot up with it and prices to get crushed. This is exactly why we do our daily three-dimensional risk management, and please have a look at episode 685. The whole episode is dedicated to understanding what this code is. As professionals, we embrace volatility and we make volatility our best friend. We are prepared and not scared. We've done our three-dimensional thinking, so we're prepared for any eventuality, and we know exactly how we will act. And this means we need to move out of the retail mindset, the fear-based mindset, into the professional mindset or the courage-based mindset. And the fastest way to do that is by subscribing to Positive Excellence. When you let kindness be your guide, integrity and decency, when you find gratitude in the smallest of things, when you seek to create inner peace and outer peace, you'll find happiness, meaning and fulfillment, and of course success will just be attracted to you. In the comments from yesterday's video, LGRC1 said, for the first time in this chaotic period of uncertainty, I'm not scared. The BORSOG code that I complete each and every day is giving me courage. I am like an eagle waiting for the price to reveal itself to know what I do next. Well done, my friend. And in the comments yesterday, we talked about self-sabotage, and J-Link said, self-sabotage is the most destructive part that occurs by lacking positive excellence. It can destroy everything that you've tried so hard to build. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it can certainly be destroyed within a day. And Wabi Sabi said, a life without self-doubt is a life of abundance. Thank you, my friend. And a very warm welcome to Azpeg, who says, this is the most amazing community I've ever seen. First time here. So good to welcome you in to our global family. And Peter shared a really good story on self-sabotage, and he said, self-sabotage comes as a result of doubt, but when we have knowledge and a solid process or method, self-trust will dominate. Thank you for sharing, Peter. And Art said, self-sabotage is the result of having a negative self-worth. When a good trend comes our way, but we don't feel worthy of the gain, we self-sabotage and cause ourselves to lose the gain. This can happen in our finances, relationships, physical or mental or spiritual well-being, or any area where we should be gaining. Negative belief systems don't let positivity take hold in our life. If we don't feel worthy of love and someone comes along and wants to love us. We might get excited at first, but soon we find a way to sabotage this positive thing. Positive self-talk can turn things around because we're literally re-engineering our subconscious. By changing the way we talk, for example, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of being profitable in my trades. I am likable and worthy of affection. When we talk this way, our subconscious will help to make it a reality. When we start to believe in ourselves, the self-sabotage stops. Just beautiful art. And well done to everybody who pops in their BORSOG codes each and every day. The more you do so, the more in sync with the market you will become. It does take some time, but it's totally worthwhile. And if you have friends or family who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do here each and every day, please introduce them to our community by sharing a video. We'd love to see them here, and we have one of the best communities on YouTube. And a very big congratulations to Ivan, who was an awardee of the Jason Rice CTKS Masterclass scholarship. Well done, my friend. You really deserve it. You put in the hard work, you've showed the positive excellence, and that just sets you up for success. And just seeking to be a little bit better every day, just embracing that positive excellence mindset, that's a surefire way to a much, much happier life. Well done, Ivan. We have just an incredible community full of amazing people. And if you've been on the sidelines and just want to reach out and say hi, we would love to hear from you. And through positive excellence, we as a community subscribe to abundance, not scarcity. We're not trapped in zone 1 and zone 2. They're the scarcity zones. We're in the abundance zones, zone 3 and zone 4. And if you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our global family's love and healing thoughts are with you. There's always hope, and you're not alone. The sun will come out again, and it's important to understand that life pullback is setting you up for the next life rally. And it's really good that you always think about any negativity in a positive light. It will absolutely be a game changer in your life. Art talked extensively about having positive statements for your life. That's why we have the CTKS Creed, which is a series of positive statements. The first one is, I know the universe wants me to succeed. Many people feel that the world is against them, but the world is not against us. If you put in the hard work, you will always get the return, sooner or later, and sometimes it's much later. But that's not important. Doing the right thing is important. And that's why we say in the next line of the CTKS Creed, every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. Having integrity is incredibly important. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is looking. Having gratitude is also incredibly important. There's so many positive things, so many good things that happen in each and every day. Sometimes we have to dig to find them, but they're always there. I know opportunities and life reset daily. When we look at a red market, many people look on with terror and they say, oh no, my investments and my trades are going down in value. But the funny thing with this, if you were in business, you wouldn't pay more than the retail price. But that's what we do inside financial markets all the time. You want to literally be like a business. Get it when it's on sale because you're stocking up. Having a feeling of self-worth is incredibly important. If you do not feel worthy, you won't step up and take opportunities when they're presented. You'll let them slip past. And your life is too short to do that, as is everybody's. The truth is that you are inherently worthy. So the next line in the CTKS Creed, I am worthy, I go slow to go fast. Don't worry about being in a hurry. Life is a long road, even though it's quite short. But it is a long road. You have more than enough time to do everything that you need to do. And two of the most important lines are, I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. Keeping away from blame is the most powerful thing that you can do in your entire life. Blame disempowers you. It makes you a victim. If you feel that you're on the wrong side of the fence, you can get to the right side of the fence by taking accountability, by just learning, by saying to yourself, okay, what did I learn from this situation? And of course, it's a pretty bad situation if you're blaming. But if you empower yourself through learning, you can move past that. Don't stay stuck in the past. Always move forward. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.